Welcome to Flat Earth Philosophy and another video to prove the Earth's flat. If you haven't seen my previous video, I mentioned, well, the video is about phi, what it actually really is. Phi representing a full cycle, a full magnetic cycle, and in there it's connected to Euclidean geometry. And I mentioned this, and one of my subscribers has sent me a link to Euclid's on Wikipedia, Euclid's information regarding it anyway, and basically I was going to reply that, you know, all that stuff means nothing to me. Basically I'm not good at maths and geometry anyway, and the fact that common man misunderstands all the ancient information. It's like esoteric, you know, ancient philosophy. Common man doesn't understand it, so he'll have it all wrong anyways. There's no point in me trying to, you know, figure out what common man's written. But anyway, I went ahead and read it, and within 10 seconds I realised I was flipping right. This is the first page. The first page in that Wikipedia site. Now, this video is about Euclid's fifth postulate, okay? Now, in geometry, the parallel postulate, also called Euclid's fifth postulate, because it is the fifth postulate in Euclid's Elements, is a distinctive axiom in Euclidean geometry. It states that in two-dimensional geometry, if a line segment intersects two straight lines forming two interior angles, I'll show you this. If a line segment intersects two straight lines, there's the two straight lines, you draw a line segment, forming two interior angles on the same side that are less than two right angles. Well, that's less, but that's not. So what the hell is that picture doing there? They've done that wrong to start with. Is this science or just Wikipedia? Then the two lines, if extended indefinitely, these two lines, meet on the side on which the angles sum to less than two right angles. Basically, what he's saying, if these two carry on, the sum of these two angles add up to where these will end up. These two lines will end up. But it's written in a way that it's basically esoteric. They don't understand it. I knew they wouldn't. They'd get it wrong. And they certainly have. They don't understand it. Completely misunderstand the basis of Euclid's information. Took me 10 seconds to draw this. Man's arc of horizon. That's the dome over man. Flat earth. There's the horizon. There's the two straight lines. The horizon and an angle there. So there's the line he's put through there. And these two angles are less than 90 degrees. 47 degrees and 72 degrees add up to 118 degrees. That's on that. So basically that's one hemisphere. Bring it over here, add them up, and what do you got here? 118 degrees. There's 118 degrees in the other hemisphere. It's the way the stars move. It's all connected with that, because the northern hemisphere is a reflection out into the southern hemisphere. It's a returning field. It's the same system. There's one central pole. Check out my earlier video anyway. One central pole. Basically, this is phi. One central pole is in here, and everywhere around the Earth is its opposite south pole. This is centered on the center of the Earth and turns like this. There's always a south pole. See? Always a south pole. You're looking directly south, you're on a meridian. So your north there, there's your south. Everybody around the flat earth will have his southern field. It's not one fixed position like the north is, you see. So there you have it, everybody. Euclid's fifth postulate. 90 degrees zenith. This is all to do with man's arc of horizon. Celestial navigation comes into all this. The movement of the stars. So everything is all observed by the observer here, perpendicular to the arc, his arc of horizon. All the celestial bodies are basically fixed in a firmament, or move in this firmament, in this arc over man. That's why you cannot measure celestial bodies. They're all holographic projections. They move, when you move, they move with you. It's just the way it is, the way they're projected into the moisture-filled atmosphere. So imagine, whatever you're getting going on here, there's one hemisphere, there's the other hemisphere. Let's read this again. If a line segment intersects two straight lines, which is what we've done here, two straight lines, straight horizon, and there's the other straight line, and the two interior angles less than 90 degrees on the same side are less than 90 right angles, then the two lines, if extended indefinitely, this is where you have to understand the arc of horizon, the dome of man. And it's pretty hard to explain, actually, pretty deep. And you have to understand the whole flat earth model, the toroidal field, and how you're getting a rotation in the south and a rotation in the north. And all these science globe lovers, globe wannabes want to talk about is they're not the same stars. Well, they are the same stars if you know where to look, because they're more widely dispersed in the south. It's an expanded field, expanding out from the centre equidistantly. And then you have the overlay of the Milky Way. So they're buried in an overlay. So when they're weaker, the original stars from back in the north are weaker, more dispersed and overlaid by the Milky Way stars. So this postulate does not specifically talk about parallel lines. They're not parallel, are they? It is only a postulate related to parallelism. Euclid gave this definition of parallel lines in Book 1, definition 23, just before the 5 postulates. Euclidean geometry is the study of geometry that satisfies all of Euclid's axioms, including the parallel postulates. The postulate was long considered to be obvious or inevitable, but proofs were elusive. Eventually it was discovered that inverting the postulate gave valid, albeit different geometries. A geometry where the parallel postulate does not hold is known as a non-Euclidean geometry. Geometry that is independent of Euclid's fifth postulate, i.e. only assumes the modern equivalent of the first 4 postulates, is known as the absolute geometry. Now, so they go on to say general relativity annihilates this fifth postulate. But it's all BS. General relativity is only the curving linear magnetic field, the torus field over the Earth as a whole. And it's the way things move. So it's if you understand, if you've seen other videos, how the stars will move, they're moving, opposing each other. It's quite deep too, but anyway. So they're saying that general relativity destroys this fifth postulate, but they don't understand this whole dome, this whole arc of horizon. It's all related to celestial navigation. All the lights come back to the observer perpendicular from the dome. And if these two lines carry on indefinitely, they say, and end up over here, that's to do with an alignment. It's to do with your alignments, a man's alignment, a celestial body's alignment, because at a certain time of the night, he can get his alignment, because that field curving around, meeting the Tropic of Cancer, and that field coming around, there's only an hour where they're basically aligned, and then the southern field, because it's bigger, quickly curves away, because it's moving. You've got to think about it, because it's a bigger field, it moves quicker, doesn't it? More wider and quicker. But then you've got to think of a clock arm. It's the same time here as it is out there, even though that's moving a wider distance. Everything is all relative to the observer on the latitude. Okay? So this is about man's arc of horizon. We have a dome over him, 180 degrees, beautiful dome. This is how you do celestial navigation. It's all relative to the observer. As he moves, his dome moves. As he moves, all the celestial bodies move. It's the way it works. Plus the celestial bodies are doing their thing anyway, they're moving anyway. This is why you have your, the Sailor's Almanac and all that. They've got the stars, the star GP points straight down to the ground here. To the minute. To the second, I think. So when you take a reading from the horizon up here to that star, they give you the GP point on the ground here exactly at that time you took the reading. And all you have to do is work out the distance back to your 90 degrees and work it out with the arc minutes. Gives you the nautical miles. You know how far you are from that point. So that's one measurement. They do it a few more times to find out where you are on the earth. But these globies are always bringing up their globe model theory and saying you can't do it on a flat earth. It's absolute rubbish. They're as thick as pig shit, or they're just outright liars, keep pushing their globe. So there it is, folks. Euclidean's fifth postulate does work. That's how it's the guts of the matter, and the science doesn't understand. It's all to do with this. The dome, man's arc of horizon. I'm sure the Illuminati, that's what you want to call them, the unilluminated. No, there is some illuminated people, they know. It's all in history. You look back in ancient history, they've got all the information, you see it everywhere. I know they know, or knew. So there's a few that know, but they don't let on to everybody. So it's like this, the very elite at the very top know it all. They suppress it all and just drip feed it. Because the longer they can control all the information, they control you. And they control all the money. It's all about mind control. Yeah. Look at the crap that's going down these days. Okay, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, like.